trying to like blow on that level. We just want to we just want our music heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Max, Ron brings up a good point, so I want to ask you. So when you've got a larger band, and I mean, I've seen your band, wonderful. You've got a bunch of people. You got a 7-piece band. So how do you manage the band to keep the passion for the music going? Because you're touring, you're putting out albums. You know, I mean, obviously there's a love for the music, but as progressing over the years, and I know you've had the band for several years now, you know, you've got people coming in and out and stuff. So what does it take to kind of keep a quality, right? I mean, it's not just about keeping the band together, but also the enthusiasm and the sound kind of like the same, right? So how do you go about managing that? How do you, you know, if any other friends who have bands that, you know, I don't know if you have any conversations about this, but what are some things that you do to kind of keep the quality that you want while maybe there are shifts and changes and kind of, but keeping it together so you get the sound that you want, right? Because at least from the music that I've heard and the songs I've heard, you know, if you take out one of those saxophones, I feel like, you could probably make do. Like, I feel like you've really crafted it so if you have all those elements, it's perfect kind of a thing. And I've really enjoyed it, so I'm curious.
I think in my experience with bands and people that I know, like, you know, talking to other band leaders, when you have a band that's like, maybe certain duos, trios, maybe quartets, like, will be more collective. But I think if you have a larger band, you really need like a dedicated, like, strong person driving the bus.
Yep.
And that's me. So
right.
I have really, I don't know, I try to give my band members like everything that they need in order to do like their best for the band. But I think if like, I don't know if that would keep going if I was not in the picture anymore. It's kind of one of those things where like you just need somebody to like to like chart the course of musically and like professionally, like career-wise, like what are we trying to do? And then of course then it's a question of, is everybody in the band down? And
right.
Then you have those questions of, you know, people leaving and people coming out. But I think it all stems from that band leader that keeps things going.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's not to downplay the contributions of the band members at all, because they do a ton of work. But it's definitely like that has to, I don't know, like I think it's it can't be a total democracy. The band Gramps the Vamp early on tried total democracy, and we didn't get very much done. and so slow, you know, it went through a few different stages, and eventually everybody who was like down was like on board with that program of, okay, Max is kind of leading this, and we're going forward with that vision. And then I'm super lucky because when that happened, and over the past like 5-6 years that's been the way we've done things, all the band members have embraced like that vision, and now it's almost like I don't have to like tell them this is what we're doing. They just like get it, and then it kind of has this life of its own. But I still kind of have, someone still needs to be in the steering wheel.
Sure.
I think if you have this large of a group.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, because I would agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. You do kind of need at least. That was what I was curious. At least I feel like you need at least 1 or 2 people in a large group, or at least a core group of people to keep.
We had a leader.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you gotta have like that in order to keep things afloat and everything, so you can keep going towards continuing to make the music you love to make and all that. But here's an interesting question that I have for you.
Here we go. I knew it was coming.
Well, I don't know if you know what I'm gonna ask.
I don't know.
But okay. But this is what I'm curious about. So You put in all this work navigating this music industry that's got celebrities over, at the top, and you're a unique band in a unique genre, or any genre, alternative, whatever the fuck. But you're a band, you got a good group of dudes or gals, and guys and gals, and sorry, this is gonna happen.
It was the gesture.
Yeah, it was the gesture. Yeah, the gesture did.
Jets and shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And so you got this nexus, right? And you're like, making some cool music. At the end of the day, whether you're in a band, you're a solo hip hop rap artist, you're part of a collective, what is the ultimate success in music for a band? So, right? So I'm gonna just let it sit there right now and let you guys answer, because I have some other thoughts, but I want you guys to have before to discuss that.
I would say it's different for every person.
Absolutely, that's very true. It depends on what is successful to that person, how they view success. As far as I remember when we were starting out, first time we got a song on the radio, that was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it can be your first time you hear yourself on the radio. It can be that first album or CD or stream that you get. It can be that check. It can be like, man, we saw that. Hell, no one goes platinum anymore. But it really depends. It all depends, because music sales is so different today. I think people have a more of a realistic outlook on things. I don't think everyone is. To me, I don't think there's no money in music, to be honest with you. I think music can open doors for you, but
if you're looking to make money, don't go into music.
Don't go into music, man.
It's not what happens.
It's not what happens, because everybody's doing it.
That's like every creative field, right?
Yeah, that's true.
If you're gonna follow something you're really passionate about, great.
Yeah.
But you don't need to.
This is the same thing about theater.
Yeah.
Like when you get a theater degree, they're like, by the way, you're not gonna make any money.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
love the journey. You know what I'm saying? Be passionate about what you're doing. If you're truly into it, and you are if you're an artist, a lot of people get into, I'm a rap because I want to get some bitches and I'm gonna get it. I'm like, all right, dude, we'll see how long your ass lasts. It's funny though. I just read this. Waka Flocka he just said. Hey, hold on now. All day though. He just said the other day. I forgot what he was on, but it's so great. He basically was like, yo, I think he said back in 2011, 2012, he had like 30 million of rap. And he was like, and I was a whack ass rapper. and whoever's in it, they was like, you think it's whack? He was like, come on, dog. He was like, I was whack as hell. He was like, my favorite artists like Nas, he started naming like the legends and stuff. He was like, I know what I was doing. He's like, don't put me in a booth with Kendrick, K-Dot and shit. He's like, nah. He was like, I know how far I can go. He was like, yo, I'm trying to be a billionaire, dude. He's like, I know what I made off music. He made his money, he bounced, he started doing other stuff. So he didn't take himself serious. Mm-hmm. I think if you're gonna make your money in hip hop, because I can't speak on, first of all, if you're not playing a real instrument, that's the ultimate. I wish my mom got me playing an instrument. When I got older, I was like too fucking cool, and I was like, I don't want to be that old dude trying to play. I want to be good. Yeah, what I'm saying? I want to be young, whack as hell. By the time I got older, I want to be bad as hell. So I ain't want to be bad as an old man and shit. It's all like fuck it. But I wish I did have a chance to play an instrument. That's something I always want. I love live music and I love instruments. I listen to everything, rock, all that shit. But I thought it was really funny that he was so in tune with himself and so honest that he was like, yo, dude, I was whack, man. But I love that. I fucking love that. So if you honest and then you do music, if you honest in your music, you'll blow. If you got half the damn talent, but if you honest, someone is going to resonate with that. And it's gonna go, because all this fake shit, people are smart today. People see through that.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish just basically called out some artists. She was like, y'all ain't doing that shit. Y'all are not doing it. She said she heard somebody do a song, said they had an AK, and they was like, fucking. So like, you are not banging nobody with an AK. Come on. If you are, then look out, girl, because somebody on the way. You know what I'm saying? You make it about it.
Yeah. And if you don't feel it as an artist, you can't expect other people feel what you're doing.
Max, say that again, man. Say it again. Say that again.
If you don't feel what you're doing as an artist, you can't expect anyone in the audience to feel what you're doing as an artist. So,
well, the reason why I asked that question is because obviously there are people who band or in a group or like really they just play music because they gives them some comfort and whatnot. But the reason why I asked is because if you're part of a band or if you're part of a group, you know, is there there's like I guess a stigma that we're in a band, we're gonna like, you know, tour and do live shows and we're gonna try and sell albums and stuff. So I was curious from your perspective that was still the mantra of if you're an artist, do it for the art, or if there's any other stigmas about being in a band where like, but I guess it goes back to your point. You got to have somebody who's like, this is the vision, this is what we're trying to accomplish, and then you got to get the people. Is that pretty much the gist of? Would you agree with that statement, or is there any other differences in that?
that you need like the
Like
the
the stigma around what success of being in a band would be and things of that, or making it to the upper echelon, selling out crowds and
Coliseums.
right?
Yeah.
Shit, you know what I mean?
I think that it's been a process. Like I'm 30 now, and like I think when I was 20, I was thinking about stuff like that, you know. And now I have a much more like realistic like idea of like what making it means. Like not having made it. Like I've gotten here and I'm done. Like I made it. I don't think that exists. I think it's more about like doing it and like making it in the present. Like if you are enjoying what you're doing, if it's sustainable for you, if people are liking it, like if you're getting good feedback, that's all I could ask for.
I think it's like an evolution, you know. Over time, you grow with your music, and you know your artist, your audience grows, your depth grow. You get better songwriter. You get better at playing instruments. You get better at rapping. I mean, things just get better. So I think over time, you just grow. Your subject matter changes, and I think that's the thing. And one thing about, I say this all the time, it's amazing how rap music or hip hop music, you know, they consider it a young person's genre. You know, no other genre. I mean, no one has an age cap.
Well, it's interesting because it like blues, you would consider like an older person genre almost, right? Because like I've gone through life and now I have all these blues kind of thing.
True.
Well, though hip hop has got roots from like jazz and blues.
Yeah, and hip hop got its roots from, I mean, shit, pretty much everything, you know? And I think the more you have lived, I feel like the more you have things to talk about, you know, because I'm not gonna sit, I mean, all right, so if you got bars, it don't matter how old you are, I'm gonna check you out, you know? But if you got bars, you know, but you're a certain age and you're saying some stuff, I'm kind of like, how do you know about that? You know, like, I'm not about to listen to no 15-year-old kind of like tell me, like, come on, man, whose story is that? You know what I'm saying? You didn't live that life. You don't even know about that. But when you get older, you get 30, 35. Now imagine a rapper that was, you know, in his early, like, for instance, rest in peace, Prodigy of Mobb Deep. Prodigy at one point was one of the best rappers in the game. Okay, he started out at like 17 years old. So he passed away a couple years ago. Complications, there's a lot of stuff about people, but if he was still around, you know, he would be in his like mid 40s and stuff right now. He got a lot of shit to talk about. You know, he was dealing with sickle cell, just the lifestyle he came up in. I feel like people like that is like, man, but the young rappers or the young artists, they're like, I don't want to listen. I don't want to listen to these old rappers. So I feel like the respect in hip hop and rap, I wish it was there. It's not the same respect for any other genre. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that I wish that was there.
Well, that's interesting. Max, do you find what Ron is saying holds any true to like the musical genres that you've been a part of? Because I believe you did some jazz stuff, you've done some other stuff. So you find that similar-esque or not?
I do think it's a little different with hip hop and rap. It's more about like very explicitly about like the personal experience.
Yes.
Because a lot of it is like that's the content.
Yeah, hip hop came out from like the struggles of the ghetto.
Sure.
So, you know, it's like having a voice.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's like an exact correlation, but Yeah, I just don't think there's an exact correlation.
And there you go. Well,
Period.
period. Put a cork in
Put a
that.
cork in that.
Last question I have before we move on for you, Max, which I'm curious about. What, in your opinion, makes a band great or a musical group great? Is it a great live performance? Is it the sound of their music? Because you made some very interesting points tonight. You gotta, you have to feel your art, or else nobody else will. So what is it about a band or a group that makes them great? Part two of the question is, and how are you striving in your own band to achieve that type of greatness?
I already know the answer to that.
Okay, well, I asked Max.
I know what I said.
So,
What makes an artist great? I think what makes an artist great is that their art and what they're doing couldn't be done by anyone else. Like, I think it's like about the individuality of it, and like the yeah, I just think it's like about the clear vision and the authenticity and the individuality of what they're doing. What was the second question?
how do
I do that?
Try and strive towards that.
Yeah, I think like on a very minute level, and like a very small level, like when I'm, when I'm composing and deciding like, does the song go here? Does the song go there? Like I try to, like, if there's a question, if there's like there's like 5 different things that we could do, I don't make the decision. It's only when it's like, no, it has to be this, because like this is what we do. This is what is authentic to us. And so I think I strive for it on a very like small level, and then on a big picture level, I strive for that, carving out a niche that is unique enough to what I'm hearing. And, that is this sort of, for Gramps the Vamp, this kind of like dark, noir, groove-centric, heavy, like psych sound, mixing a lot of different genres together. But I think it's a little bit on the macro scale and a little bit on the micro scale, like the exact decisions you make during songwriting, and then of course like the big decision of where do I want to take this group.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta follow that and shit.
Yeah. Any last thoughts, Ron? You want to?
Max had some great points. I'm just gonna add, what makes a great group or artist or duo, whatever. I think it starts with songwriting, rather it be heavy wordplay or short, concise, but clear vision, straight to the point where people can get it. Consistency is dope. Being consistent, that is important. I mean, that's pretty much for everything. We preach that with everything we do. Just being true to yourself, music or sonically, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
One of the things, like I was gonna say, like a couple questions ago, what keep us motivated and excited? Production, man. Those beats, that kept us because my guys were always making beats. So we would just be sitting up, it's 2:00 in the morning, they just cranking out shit. So we sitting there, we smoking, we hanging out.
Jam sessions, concerts, right?
Yeah.
When you hear your guy making
Feedback.
something and it's like, damn, and I'm like, you already like, yo, can I get on that track? So you got everybody like, I want to be on that. It's like, dude, we don't have to be people on this shit. We don't want to have like a 7-minute song. We're trying to get this like some radio shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, production, songwriting, and you got a clear vision and originality. Like, I can't stand people that sound like, it's a lot of artists that are really good, but they just sound all the same.
Yeah.
And I feel like back in the day, you couldn't bite, you couldn't copy. Everyone sounded original. There were gatekeepers that basically made sure that you was official before you was able to get through and get on. You don't have that anymore. That's the only thing. that's a problem now. It's great that the social media and you got different avenues where you can walk your dogs and do everything yourself, but you don't have anyone checking people at the door like, nah, your ass whack. Get the fuck out of here. You don't have that.
Right.
So everybody's doing it. Everybody got music. Everybody think they hot. But then the true telltale story is who's following you.
Right. Yeah, I think that, you know, with the internet and YouTube and everything, it's just easier to get stuff out, and it's interesting to see those who progress farther than others. Talent be damned in some cases, you know.
Brother and subject matter.
Right.
They try their subject.
But I think to what you gentlemen were saying, I think it's, at least from my personal observations, I feel it is definitely in any artistic format you endeavor into, music, comedy, etc. I would have to agree. It definitely is. You have to voice in a way, whether it's pen to paper writing a song, composing a piece of music,
It's very true.
putting together some lyrical bars for a rap, putting together a comedic piece, putting together a comedy video, whatever it is, you know, finding the voice of who you are, the person,
That's
consistently putting out your work if you love it, if you love it enough, and then just trusting in your abilities.
And I would also like to say, like, it's a process. Like, it's not, like, I look back on the stuff that I've released in the past, and like, I'm like, oh, you know.
Yep, same thing.
It's not super original. I'm getting there, you know. And I think as an artist, you're constantly on the way.
Right.
Like, I don't think you're ever like, oh, I'm here and this is my style.
Well, then what would be the point then?
I think
even
you're
continuing.
Exactly. I think you're constantly just trying to figure out, and I think it's just about the process of it.
Yeah.
Getting to something that feels the most authentic and
Right.
that feels unique and individual.
Yeah.
It's constantly a process. You're constantly getting better, and
that's what the pursuit of the
That's
art
what
is
it's all
for,
about,
right? It's what the pursuit of that art form is. Constantly improve and put out better music,
Yeah.
or comedy, or whatever it is. I mean, like Dave Chappelle and his special be like, I'm so good at this shit.
Yeah,
like,
he is.
He's still putting out
He's
specials.
so good.
He's still learning, because there's so many other people, and there's so many other people you can learn from, and he's like, oh, you know. So there's always that. So thanks for that wonderful discussion. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to cut it off there and move on. But that was delightful.
That was.
I really, really enjoyed that
I
conversation.
love talking music.
Yeah,
man.
it's been great. We'll love to, you know, we'll get to that. We'll have you back on another time. Continue conversation other ways. But it's time to move on. But before we move on to our next segment, I just wanted to let you know about our other sponsor, which is the Sears Tower. Guys, I don't know who this guy Willis is, but he's stolen my tower. Guys, we're not really that bankrupt, okay? Willis he's confided us into a jail cell in a basement. I'm not sure where in the city exactly it is, but we're trying to get out. We're trying to claim our tower back. Guys, we want our tower back, okay? It's the Sears Tower, not Willis. Fuck Willis. I'm writing this copy using a chewed off piece of lead pencil that I got from the guy next door, and writing on a piece of toilet paper, and I sent it into the Chicago 60. Guys, you have to save the Sears Tower. We are locked away. Find Willis. Get Willis out of there and bring us back forever. #forever Sears Tower. Wow. Okay.
Yo, dude,
Whoa.
I think we gotta do something about that.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
#forever Sears Tower.
Should we like call it
heard it here?
police or something?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Sears, but they're gone. And
Hey,
now
actually,
there's some guy
no
Willis. I don't know.
snitching, man. No snitching.
Always the Sears Tower. Well, thank you, Sears Tower, for sending in that copy.
Hey, sorry.
Appreciate your sponsorship. And with that, gentlemen, it's time for our favorite segment of the week. It is time for the Jagoff of the Week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this week's.
Wait, hold on. Everybody, this is something that is really, really important to JJ. So please hear him out on this week's Jagoff of the Week. Go ahead.
Jagoff! This week's Jagoff is a team
Take your time.
that
Take your time.
I was a part of in my youth
Oh,
that
this high kills me
has
too.
disgraced me and anybody who has been part of it and all fans of my favorite sport in the world. Some call it football. Some call it football.
What do you call it?
Some call it the real football. Others call it soccer. The jagoff of the week is the Chicago Fire for creating the dumbest goddamn logo I have ever fucking seen. They had an amazing logo, the crest and the C. I have the jerseys in my closet that I played with when I was a young child. I was on the original Chicago Fire Academy. That logo meant something to me. And they came out with the fucking logo that looked like they stole it from another team, number one. Number two, it looked like a monkey who had Down syndrome could have come out with that goddamn logo. I am so angry. So is most of the Chicago Fire fandom. What marketing agency or whatever crap that's on there? Yeah, give me that. Give me that. Okay, this is the actual logo of the Chicago Fire. Okay, you got the thing, you got the crest here, you got the fire there, you got the big C. Okay, this is the real Chicago Fire. God damn it. Okay.
Now your jersey is a throwback.
Yeah. God. Hashtag Chicago Fire throwbacks. So you know what? God damn it, Chicago Fire. I haven't even gone to a Chicago Fire game. You put crap out on the field. Now you're putting crap on the shirt. You put crap on the shirt, you're going to get crap on the field. You got to look good to play good, and you look like shit. So what the fuck? I'm not paying for any goddamn tickets until you change the goddamn logo. Hashtag change the logo. We're starting it here on the Chicago 60.
Are we going to start that?
Hashtag change the
logo.
logo. You pieces of shit in the marketing department and leadership of Chicago Fire.
Well, it looks like they won't be doing any marketing for us.
No, they will not. Y'all can go fuck yourselves. So
tell us how
You're gonna hold yourself to that. I'm not gonna buy any tickets until change the logo.
100%. I mean, like I watch British Premier League, EPL, English Premier League, hands down to begin with. Anyway, my team is Arsenal, which isn't doing good either. But I will seriously not go to a Fire game because one, MLS soccer is pretty crap for the most part.
I don't even know soccer, but
I'm telling you. Well, I know soccer, and you see. Okay, thank you. I mean, it's just not great stuff. They're expanding a bunch of teams. They're all
aren't they like all the
logos.
guys that play in all the dope leagues and they like get old and they start playing?
There's that. Okay, there's that. They get like all the retirees, best players,
right.
Or they get like all of the best players from like the lower leagues in countries or like the less known leagues, like Austrian league and all that shit that come over here. And then, you know, those guys aren't bad per se, but the level and quality. And American soccer sucks because they don't let their play. It's just a whole cycle thing. And it starts with the goddamn shitty logos. So goddamn it, change the fucking logo.
Hey,
you jagoffs.
Y'all want some talent?
God.
Change your logos, man.
Change the fucking logo.
You know the logo is what?
That had tradition and history.
The logo is important.
The Fire won their first season as their inaugural season. They won the championship with that logo, and then you go and change it.
You go and just change that.
You fucking jagoffs. God, and I love Chicago teams, but you
know what?
Jagoffs.
Seriously, Chicago
Jagoffs. Max, would you like to give a jagoff to the jagoffs?
No pressure. No pressure.
Oh, no pressure.
No pressure.
I'm actually kind of glad they're going to be in the city.
There you have
there is that. And we're on WGN, so there are some positives. It's just the logo that sucks. Just the logo that sucks.
To be negative.
Exactly. That's why I picked up on your vibe right away.
All right. Well,
other shout out to the original logo was inspired by the Chicago Fire Department logo.
That's what I thought.
That's so true.
I was
Which
like,
is also very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
shout out
I
to
will
the
say the new logo isn't like anything. Though.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like
an oval and then a smaller oval and then like little
You're gonna
flame
change the
thingies.
logo.
It looks like you
Make
gave
it
your
cooler,
kid
man.
Photoshop and when he was bored and you're like,
It's like,
"Damn this."
you know what it looks like? It looks like a parent went to their kid and was like, hey, draw what is on the top of a rooster or a turkey. And then he's like, okay. And then they put their hand and they do, and they're like, okay, now do it on the other side. And then they do it on the other side. And they're like, okay, now draw two ovals. And that's the fucking Fire logo.
All right, so what if it is someone's
Fucking
kid?
jagoffs.
Mm.
Don't care. That kid is never going to art school.
Justin.
Fuck that kid.
Justin, you.
I'm sure someone's
care.
kid maybe.
Somebody's kid
Can
made
you imagine if it was somebody in the marketing department was just like, Daddy, Mommy, I made the logo for the fire.
They're like,
oh.
fine.
And then they threw it up to the board, and somehow people
It's-
are like, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're like,
stuck.
oh,
It's
fuck.
just
And then
stuck.
it just stuck.
It was like we're missing the point. Someone's
Yeah.
kid made it.
Someone's kid did make this.
Somebody's kid did make it. It might be a grown kid.
Yeah.
Somebody's kid made it.
And they're
Yeah.
fucking proud and have a paper.
Dude, you know they proud as hell right now. They are proud, probably rolling in a Tesla right now.
I don't care. You're all jagoffs for that shitty logo. Hashtags, change the logo. Chicago Fire, jagoffs. All right. Until you win a championship, then you're off my shit list. But until then, you're all jagoffs. All right. Well, that was the jagoff of the week. That concludes this episode of the Chicago City Podcast. But I'd like to end by letting you all know that this podcast is also sponsored by Gramps the Vamp.
That's right.
Because this is an amazing band, and we just want to let you know that they have, they're trying to release a brand new album. They've got an Indiegogo page, and I'm happy to report, which I was going to do on the podcast, but Norm has already stolen my thunder. But we have made a contribution ourselves to Gramps the Vamp Indiegogo page. We have pledged $250 to their album release. We all want you to do the same thing. You don't have to necessarily do $250 but any amount helps. Help this amazing man. We're going to post some of their music on our page. You can listen to how good their stuff is. Help them get to their next album, and also so they can tour. These guys are fucking great. This guy is fucking great. It was amazing conversation. Help him out. We're helping him out. Go and do it, okay? We'll be posting the Indiegogo page tomorrow and throughout the week, plus some of their music throughout the week. Check them out. Help them out. Let them continue to make great music for you here in the land of Chicago.
The most popular rewards to choose are the download of the album, $15, and the vinyl record, $25.
Nice.
I would say get a vinyl record.
Get a vinyl. Even if you-
$25, guys.
Even
Come on.
if you don't have, I know most of you got turntable.
How many of those are
got
you-
a record player? Get it.
Most likely 500. That's just like the smallest you can make and make it work financially.
Limited, but it'll be a limited supply.
It will be a limited supply. Yes.
There you go. So you get it now, folks. Get it now. We'll be posting. Go to our page and find them. Max, where else can they find Gramps the Vamp and yourself for amazing music and other announcements?
You can go to grampsthevamp.com, and you can also go to maxmcgathey.com for my personal stuff and like film score stuff that I do on the side as well.
And
Max with 2 X's.
Yes, Max with 2 X's. We will put all of those links into the descriptions of the podcast and all the videos that will go up on YouTube. You can find it there. You can also find him on Instagram at Gramps the Vamp for the band and at Maxx McGathey as well. Send them a message and find out about where you can find more of the music and follow it. Follow them, God damn it.
Follow them.
Follow them.
Wait.
Follow them.
Max two X's, not 3.
Yes.
'Cause I might lead you somewhere else.
That's right.
Different story.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Max, for coming on the show. I really
Absolutely,
appreciate you
man.
for being
Thank
here,
you,
man. It was a great
Yeah,
conversation.
you're great.
I also want to thank my wonderful co-host, Ron Russell, for being here as always. Thank you, Ron. Wonderful conversations,
Yeah, you as
contribution.
well, brother. Thank you.
Thank you to Quiet.
That's right.
Storm
Quiet,
and Norman,
Quiet.
taking the photos, running the show.
Quiet,
Thank you very
clicker.
much. And of course, thank you to
Clicker.
Joe Nino for all of his wonderful insights and also helping to produce the show.
That's right.
Thank you very much, guys. And that concludes an episode of the podcast. If you like what you heard, please follow us on Facebook.
Yes.
Follow us on YouTube if you
Yes.
want to watch video. We're going to be doing an episode of Couch Stories right after this with Max. You can learn a little bit more about him. So you can only see that on YouTube. So make sure to go to the YouTube page, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're also releasing a new comedy video every Thursday, y'all. So check those out. You can only get those on YouTube. So hit that. We're on Instagram at 60 at Chicago_60. And of course, if you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review and follow and subscribe us. That really helps us with the rankings so more people can learn about cool people like Max and cool shit going on in our wonderful city that we call Chicago.
That's right.
So go do all that, y'all.
All that.
And now, we have to end every episode with our favorite phrase of all time. On the count of 3. You guys ready?
You gotta say this one.
You have to.
I'm down.
1, 2, 3. Bear down and fuck the Packers. All right, that was another episode of the Chicago 60. We shall see you with another amazing guest next week.
Yeah, I like your jersey though.
X.